Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not to unsettle you. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tavis Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. My very first thing today and every single day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We have a lot to talk about as usual. And as usual, this is the way we do things on a Thursday. Okay, so hour one will look local. What is going on the left coast as it relates to the world? Of course, California being a huge nation state. Okay, we're not a nation, but we are a state that feels like a nation. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a hot topic or a person of interest. And today we are on point with all of that. You're invited in every single hour at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's the number. If you got something to say, something to do, something to share. I cannot believe we are so close to heading out for the motherland, Miles. That is wild. That's just next month. We will be going to Nigeria, Ghana, and the Republic of Benin. Republic of Benin I've never been to. Really excited about that. Well, I'm excited to go back to Lagos, of course. Big city with crazy traffic. Lagos traffic makes LA traffic look like Montana. People, it's just wild. But it's a party town. It's an arts town, and arts and culture town. And really looking forward to going back there. And then we'll go to Abeokuta, which is in the country, in Yoruba country a part of Nigeria that I've never been to. Looking forward to that. And the Republic of Benin, which is one of the centers of our ancient arts and culture for all global Black, African American, whatever you are, people. That's someplace I've always wanted to go, where I suspect my ancestors may hail from, maybe yours, many people, melanated people in this country can trace their roots to Nigeria, Senegal, Benin, Republic of Benin. Of course, that was all one big thing back in the day. It'll be Miles' second trip, and we are going to be broadcasting for you every day, so you're coming with us virtually. What are you thinking, Miles? You ready?
I'm already there, Dominique. Mentally, I'm already. I can't lie. I'm getting ready. I'm prepped up.
That's hilarious, because I remember last year was your first trip and you didn't really know what to expect. And this year you're already on 10.
But I feel bad though, because I've been meaning to re-download my Duolingo and step up my Swahili a little bit. So I'm slacking on that though.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Since we're going to West Africa, they don't really use Swahili that much.
Okay.
It's more of this east coast of Africa, where we were last time when we went to Kenya and Tanzania. And South Africa, they're starting to use it. They claim they're using it all over Africa, but I haven't heard any in West Africa.
Gotcha. Okay.
At all. So you'd have to learn Yoruba or Igbo or whatever they speak in the Republic of Benin, which I don't know what it is, or Mandinka. It's all the different languages of West Africa.
You gotta start bringing back the word of the week, Dominique.
Okay, back to the Swahili word of the week. I know I've been lagging on that for like a year, right?
We've been off that.
Yeah, well, maybe because we're going west, but that's wrong. We should, since they're working on making it, continent wide. It's good to. No, you're right. I forgot all. I came back from Tanzania and I was like, oh, I'm done. What? That's so transactional. It should be a lifelong study of Swahili. Do you remember any of your words other than jambo? Of course, we remember jambo. That means hello.
Jambo, pole pole, go slow. Take your time.
Pole pole, take it
pole.
slow. Did we ever do that word? I don't think we did that word.
I think we did.
Maybe that could be our Swahili word of this week, since it's already Thursday.
Pole pole, slow down.
Pole pole, chill, slow down. Yeah, that's funny that you remember that.
Mamba poa, mamba fresh.
Oh my gosh, that was some slang. That's not even in the dictionary. I forget what it means, but I remember that it was slang.
I got it written down, but yeah, mamba poa, mamba fresh.
Okay, yeah. It all starts coming back to me as soon as I see the beautiful island of Zanzibar. But of course, karibu, welcome. You're welcome, or you're welcome. Same word. Karibu sana. And everybody knows Hakuna Matata. Everything's cool.
Don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, all is well. So yeah, looking forward to that, and you'll be coming with us virtually. I'm on a posting storm, so I'm going to be posting from Africa, and plus Miles will be there. So we're going to be posting content on KBLA 1580, which is every social platform. You can join us on KBLA 1580 on every social platform. And we are broadcasting live. We won't be on YouTube because our YouTube cameras are connected to the KBLA studio. But we're going to be streaming on TikTok, streaming on whenever we have internet.
Make sure you subscribe to Dominique DiPrima's YouTube, though, and Miles Low Music YouTube, because we will be posting on all platforms, especially YouTube.
Yes, yeah. And Miles Low Music on Instagram also. And DiPrima Radio on Instagram. And now that I can go live on my TikTok, finally, we'll be able to do that. And again, it all depends on, do we have Wi-Fi? If we don't have Wi-Fi, we might have had to pre-tape part of the show, or the time zone might be so weird that you'll be wondering why it's nighttime, but it's morning here. But we are taking you with us, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, it's a great reason to follow, like, subscribe, comment, and all the things. And I don't know if you've been peeping out my IG this last couple weeks, Miles, but people are going in on Jay French and me, and the whole conversation about race, right? Because he says, don't call me black, call me American. I say we're Black Americans or African Americans. I understand his point about race being a social construct. I say the same thing, but I think saying American and leaving off the black at this point in our history raises other issues. But I call people what they want to be called. I'll call you, if you want to be called Moorish, FBA, Freedman, ADOS, if you want to be called white, I'll call you that, even if you look like Miles Davis, because I agree with Neely Fuller, the great scholar, who says call people what they want to be called.
Yeah, he said a lot of more wild stuff, though, than just that, though.
Yeah.
He is going viral, though. Shout out to you guys. We've had some great conversations these last couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's definitely going viral. The reason I brought it up is because he's coming in tomorrow for Freedman Friday.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so going from don't call me black, call me American, to whatever the conversation is going to be about reparations, I think should be a good one. And I hope you'll be ready to call if you hear something you love or don't love. Add a little controversy to our Freedman Friday, because reparations alone is just not controversial enough.
No, you got to have throw some gasoline on there too.
Right. Well, we do that conversation every Friday, second hour of the show. We talk reparations. I call it Freedman Friday because that's what we were called when the Emancipation Proclamation hit and we were supposedly freed. We were freedmen, and so that's why I call it Freedman Friday, not to take a side with any particular group or aspect of the movement, the reparations movement, but merely to spread good information, keep the conversation going, and be part of the momentum on bringing reparations to fruition in more and more and more places. As we see, that is exactly what's happening. So you'll want to join us for that. And if you haven't jumped in the conversation, please do. That Judge Maybelline clip is going viral too, where she talked about how she didn't want to get a divorce because she didn't want to pay spousal support. It's not a Freedman Friday topic, but boy, people are fired up about that.
I said we've had some great convos these last couple weeks, man. Be sure you guys check the replays if you haven't. Get the podcast if you haven't heard them yet.
Yeah, you can get your podcasts. They're on YouTube. They're all on YouTube, or you can get them wherever you get your pods. And I just noticed you have your lion's tooth on.
I've been rocking that for a minute now, yeah.
I don't know why. I guess I was zoning out, but that was from, where'd you get that from?
This ain't from the gift shop. This from the tribe on the safari.
Oh, when we went to the Masai Mara,
Mm-hmm.
and the chiefs actually gave us
Sold
gifts.
us. They ain't give us nothing. They sold us to it.
They sold us gifts. Yeah, that's right. They did sell. Well, they gave us one little gift, didn't they? The beads.
Oh, they sold us.
Okay.
They was getting to the money out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. The entrepreneurial spirit was real. Yeah, but that's a genuine lion's tooth.
Everybody's been asking me, like, "Oh, what's your stone?" Like, this ain't no stone. This ain't from the gift shop, y'all. This is real lion's tooth right here.
Yeah. What was it? What's it supposed to symbolize?
Strength, because it was part of they said they would get these from the lions that they actually would have to take down that were attacking the village, that were attacking like the cattle and everything. But yeah, the women actually made it and were selling these after we went into their huts. Yeah,
that's right. I remember now. And those huts were a trip.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a different way of life. Something smaller, well, about the size as the studio in that control room, with a whole family and a whole life going on inside.
I have a room for the baby cow to sleep in, and children running in and out, chickens running in and out, dogs. It was humbling, but that's real life, though, for some people.
Yeah. Humbling is a good way of looking at it. Just what we go through to get a one-bedroom apartment. Looks like probably a palace to the Maasai, but also they probably think we got a lot of unnecessary extra stuff.
Yeah, like running water, stuff like that.
Not that. I'm talking about all our gadgets.
Right. But I think the chief had an Apple Watch on.
Yeah. Well, that's I did not peep that. But the technology is everywhere. You see a little shack with a satellite dish on top.
Right.
It's common. Yeah. 800-920-1580 if you want to talk about it. We'll focus on what's happening here on the left coast when we come forward. I'm Dominique DiPrima. That's Miles Lowe. Way in the back, that's Benjamin, our intern. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Baby!
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, per the request of Molly Bell, is this where I hold it, Miles? Up more? Yeah. If you want to see the lion's tooth, it's on a black beaded little necklace. It's very translucent. Well, it looks like a tooth, actually. Up close. Can you see it? This is the one that Miles purchased in the village. The Masai Mara is a very country. It's the bush, basically. It's out in the bush in Kenya, where we had a soccer tournament for the kids there. And they gave out trophies. We gave them books and school supplies and such for those Maasai children. It's very, very... If you're not familiar with the Maasai, you've seen the tall, thin Africans that wear the blankets. They're like these colorful red checked blankets. And they're beautiful. It's beautiful countryside, beautiful tradition, very, very close to the earth. Although you do see those, we did see some of those folks in the city. They're mostly out in the bush where we were, out in the... area where there's, national park preserves and where the safaris take place. They are herdsmen and women. They herd cows, mostly some goats. And even the little kids are out there herding the goats with the cows with their sticks, and the dogs running alongside. It's just a, wow, flashback to, rewind to your DNA maybe a couple hundred years ago. Very, very interesting. And it's so interesting for me to see what activates in the body and mind. I have a theory that as we drive across Africa, take in the greenery and the red earth, and the very green trees and shrubbery, and even the plains where you see, a lot of open space, that it does something like it recalibrates your brain, just having all of that imagery coming into your brain. There is a comfort level that happens, at least for me.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that too, the fresh air, you know what I mean? Just that long drive from Nairobi to the Masai Mara, the windows down, the fresh air, like you said, the dirt, the minerals in the earth. You can literally see the minerals in the dirt. The refreshing water when we finally got to Zanzibar. Like it was a complete reset for the body, mind, soul, everything.
It's really interesting, and I'm also looking at the arguing that's going on my Instagram, where they're talking about we're not Africans, we're African Americans, or we're African descendants, not whatever you think. When you go to the motherland, there is something that happens to your body and mind that's indescribable, and I don't think you can get it from watching a documentary, reading a book, or looking at an artifact, although those things are wonderful to do.
Yeah, no, it's different than Instagram. You really got to feel it. Yeah.
And then there's a whole argument saying they won't say welcome home when you go to Africa, which is wrong, because they say that. I think I've been to 9 countries now, and I haven't missed a welcome home in one place.
No, you left. You feel more welcome, literally there in a lot of places than you feel like in LA sometimes.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, we can all have the theories that we want, and I respect your intellect to make up your own mind about what you believe, even though I'll argue with you if you call me. But I would suggest you go. And in reality, I say that especially to my Black American, freedmen, FBA, African American, Negro, Black people, melanated folks. But I also, anyone, because if we're being honest, Africa is the cradle of all human life. Like, we're all descendants from the DNA of the Nile Valley. We all are, every single human on this planet. So I think it's worth going for anybody, but especially if you're Black American, however you identify, there's something there for you. So I'm looking forward to going. The other thing that's coming up is the 4th anniversary of KBLA, which is crazy. I can't believe I've been gone from that other station for 4 years. I can't believe I've been in Morning Drive. I guess that's a win, right? Say, first Black woman ever to be on Morning Drive solo talk radio, commercial talk radio here in LA. And I think still standing after 4 years counts as a win. So thank you for that, because it's because of you. I mean, if it was me by myself here every day, I would not be here for sure. So thank you for that. It's a gift, and we have so many parties and things coming up that I hope you will join. There's the big party. We have a big anniversary party up in the park, and there's food and drink and hang out with all the folks that you talk to every day or yell at your radio about. So there's that. And then there's my State of Black Women in LA, which is going to be 2 panels with just movers and shakers, women in LA making a difference, doing big things. And that's going to be, you have to register online, but it's free and anyone can come. Really looking forward to that. We'll give you the location once you sign up. So that's going to be amazing. And then Tavis is doing a broadcast with all of these climate justice folks on C-SPAN, which you're invited to attend as well as a studio audience member. They're also going to be addressing health and wellness, which is one of our missions for this year, along with the climate justice piece. So that will be happening. And then there's the Empowerment Congress, which we team up on every single year, and which, of course, you're invited to that. You're invited to that with or without us. The Empowerment Congress continues to be a great way to access power building in LA County on the local level, right? The networking and lobbying, the calls to action of that event are really, really real. So I hope you can get all the info on how to participate in all the things at KBLA 1580 on our Instagram, on our Twitter. I like our Instagram. Well, I like everybody's Instagram. And just keep up. Speaking of Instagram, today is the day that my brother, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Raz J. Baraka, will go to federal court for his federal trespassing. That was such a great point that Attorney Nana Jamfi made. Who gets a federal charge for trespassing? Federal is supposed to be serious, right? They're supposed to be serious charges, not you walked inside of a facility in the town of which you are, not even in the facility, inside the gate in a town of which you are mayor, in which you were meant to be meeting with members of Congress. And when the ICE agents asked you to step outside the gate, you did, but then they decided to arrest you anyway because clearly you were targeted. Now, anyway, he's going to be in federal court in New Jersey. If you're in New Jersey, we're asking that you show up. You can get info at razforgovernor.com, I think it's up there, or go to Raz J. Baraka on Instagram, and we'll find out today what they're going to do. He could do up to 30 days in jail, which is crazy because the election is less than 30 days away. He's running for governor. That election is June 10th. Wouldn't that be convenient? We'll jail Mr. Baraka and shut down the rest of his campaign, or they could just give him a fine or both. But I'm hopeful that folks will show up in numbers. I'm hopeful that the court will see the ridiculousness of this scenario and, give him the minimum or dismiss the whole thing. News, traffic, and sports, then it's a great time to call me, KBLA Talk 1580.
More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem clashes with House Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman over immigration during a budget hearing, specifically about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, deported by the Trump administration.
Abrego Garcia is in his home country.
What steps have you taken?
If your continued advocacy for him were to...
I'm not advocating for him. I'm advocating for a court order, Madam Secretary.
The Supreme Court ordered his return, but the DOJ is contesting the ruling. A 19-year-old ex-Michigan Army National Guard member was arrested for planning an ISIS-inspired attack on a Michigan military base. He's charged with supporting terrorism and distributing destructive device info, facing up to 20 years per count. And Warner Brothers Discovery is renaming its streaming service back to HBO Max. CEO David Zaslav said they're returning to the brand known for its high-quality media. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NFL released the full schedule for the 2025 season. The Chargers will play the Kansas City Chiefs in their regular season opener. That game will be Friday night, September 5th in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The Rams will be at home for their regular season opener. They play the Houston Texans on Sunday, September 7th at SoFi. First regular season game for Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville Jaguars will be in Jacksonville on Sunday, September 7th against the Carolina Panthers. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the second team to reach the conference finals in the NBA playoffs. Minnesota eliminated Golden State Wednesday night in 5 games. They will play either Denver or Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals. Game 6 is in Denver tonight. Indiana will play New York or Boston in the East Finals. Game 6 is Friday night in New York. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
When the flames subside, who ensures that the stories endure? At KBLA Talk 1580, we're committed to preserving the voices that shape our community. We know people have short memories, and as long as this Black Talk radio station is on the air, we will not let Altadena be forgotten. We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is the show of record, the definitive source for tracking Altadena's roots, resilience, recovery, and reunion. These stories will now live on for students, scholars, researchers, and journalists seeking truth and legacy in the months and years to come. Because history isn't just made, it's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative, CYFC, for their 25th annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. at Susan Miller Dorsey High School, 3537 Farmdale Avenue in Los Angeles. This community-centered event brings together advocates, supporters, and youth to raise awareness and resources for foster care programs in the greater Los Angeles area. Please register at Eventbrite CYFC 25th Anniversary Walk. Congratulations to the Children, Youth, and Family Collaborative on their 25th Annual Foster Youth Awareness Walk. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you indeed. 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to call in. Tanya says, we want to visit the Motherland 1619 Project book. Maybe next year you'll come with us. I suggest if you want to go that you sign up right away because oh man, this thing sells out fast these days. We don't take a huge number of people because we want to feel like a family trip. So you just keep your eye on africanfocus.org or keep your eye on my Instagram at DiPrima Radio, and you will find out the info. We don't even know where we're going yet next year, but I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be in Africa. It's going to be in the motherland. A crazy, crazy thing happened, and I haven't had a chance to talk about it. This man, I feel like I say that every day, but that's because there's so much stuff that happens every day, all the time. So this guy, Raymond LaValle, he's a 48-year-old man, was hit by a police officer in a car. This is Downey Police Department. I guess this was out in Santa Fe Springs. This is back in October, according to the Whittier Police Department. They're in charge of that area. They crashed, hit the guy, ate something at night, and killed him. He was pronounced dead by the time the Whittier cops get to the scene, which is about 20 minutes after he was hit. He was dead. The family says that this Downey police officer hit and run. They hit the guy and then fled the scene. The city of Downey says the cop didn't know that he had hit someone and kept moving. He thought like maybe a piece of garbage or something hit the car. I'm just thinking that would be a really heavy piece of garbage. A whole human being, right? The family's saying that the cop knew what he did and fled the scene. The city says he had no idea. And then about a week ago, they filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city in LA County Superior Court. police department there in Whittier did an investigation, and they said they recommended, this is the Whittier Police Department now, not the police department that the cop is from Downey. But the Whittier PD says that the officer should be charged with vehicular manslaughter and hit and run causing death. But they're saying they didn't find any reason for criminal charges. The LADA's office did not file any criminal charges, saying that the crash was, quote, a tragic accident. And they're saying it was because this guy was lying too close to the side of the road and making his own conditions unsafe for himself and making conditions unsafe for the officer. So basically, they're blaming the man that got hit by the officer for being too close to the road. And they're saying that the man, who's now dead, jeopardized the officer's safety by unaliving himself. The DA's office said they didn't find any evidence that the officer was driving in a negligent manner. They didn't find any evidence that the officer knew he had hit someone.
Was he drunk?
The officer?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't say.
Okay.
But I'm just, yeah.
You know I hit anybody. What? That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work to an officer.
No, that wouldn't work to an officer at all. I wasn't aware that I had hit a whole human.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, he shouldn't have been so close to the road. Like, you can get in trouble for hitting a person that's in the road. Like, if pedestrians have the right of way, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a freeway, so you're not supposed to be a pedestrian. But still, they're not even saying he was in the road. They're saying he was too close to the side of the road. The family doesn't say he was drinking. They say he was speeding, even though he wasn't responding to any emergency call. He was just speeding, and that he didn't stop to render aid, which is what cops are supposed to do. If they hit you, obviously, they're supposed to help you.
Can the police be too close to the sidewalk? Could that be the option as well? Maybe?
Maybe. Well, they're saying he was going too fast. And they're saying the Downey Police Department, not the Whittier. Whittier's the one that investigated and said vehicular manslaughter. They're saying the Downey Police Department tried to cover it up, that they didn't put out a press release, and they didn't notify the family for months. They never contacted the family. This is stunningly unusual. I mean, stunningly usual. I can't tell you the number of families I've talked to whose loved ones have been killed by police or died in custody, and they've never gotten any notification. So they're saying that the guy was on duty, he struck and killed him and left him to die, and that he should be charged, and they obviously are suing for damages. The police department says the collision occurred at low speed in a dark area with poor visibility while the officer was pursuing a suspect who was actively evading the police. So once again, the police version wildly differing from what the family says. They say he was going slow, low speed, but chasing a suspect. How does that even make sense? This is confusing me. The DA said that they have some footage, dashboard footage, that shows the officer inspecting the front of his vehicle 6 minutes after the collision. And that since there was no blood on the car, he could have just thought he hit some trash. That's a stretch. They say there's no discernible damage to the front of the patrol vehicle, nor was there any blood or human tissue visible.
They do have the dash cam footage. Okay.
Well, not from when he hit, but from afterwards when he got out and he was looking at the front of the car.
Of course. Of course, that 6 minute difference, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, is that the bar? If there's no blood or human tissue, I get to keep driving? Is that the bar? Is that our...
How'd you get out and check in the first place?
Yeah, it's... Anyway, it's this is the kind of thing, to me also, part of what I find disturbing about this is that we're not talking about it. Like, this isn't a big deal, apparently. They said the family says they hit the guy while he was walking down a driveway toward the river with his bike. They say he was temporarily lodged underneath the vehicle, that his chest cavity collapsed. He has abrasions on his arms, legs, torso, and face, cut to his right hand, a broken wrist. Yeah, that doesn't sound like just a little thump and go either. Whoops, I ran over your foot. That's like I dragged you.
Then you check like I said, the fact that we got a 6-minute gap for the dash cam.
Yeah,
says a lot for me. That's tough.
Yeah, well, they're looking for compensatory damages and special damages at a trial, and punitive damages against the officer himself. We'll see. To me, this sounds. It's always troubling when the official story does not match what appears to be the autopsy or what the family knows and says. In this case, it's particularly troubling because the cop just drove away, and the Whittier Police Department investigation appears to contradict the Downey Police Department, which appears to be yet another version from what the district attorney is saying. Smells like a cover-up. 800-920-1580 if you've got something to say. As usual, we've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Imagine every pregnant person in LA County having the support they deserve. A doula on every block. Doulas provide emotional, physical, and informational support during pregnancy, through labor, and beyond. Medi-Cal now covers doula care. That means you can get the support you need or train to support families in your community. The LA County Medi-Cal Doula Hub is here to help. Learn more and get started today at ladoulahub.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, it's wild, wild west out there right now in these streets. One thing I wanted to add about that cop, that Downey cop whose name we don't know, who hit and run a person who's now dead, is that it's, for me, it's if in fact he really was chasing someone, which is in dispute. You're chasing a suspect who's eluding you, but 6 minutes later you have time to pull over and inspect your car. I mean, there's a lot of things that just aren't adding up here. It was low speed, it was high speed, which was it? But if in fact that cop was chasing someone when he hit Raymond LaValle and killed him, is another argument for why we shouldn't have high-speed chases. You have helicopters, you have drones, you have Real ID, you have cameras everywhere, you have facial recognition technology, you have the Ring camera surveillance network, the unofficial surveillance network, which is now the largest surveillance network of human beings in the history of this country. Your Ring doorbell, which Amazon happily shares with police departments across the country. You're going to find the person. You don't need to do a high-speed chase and possibly kill a bystander. We need to outlaw these high-speed chases. They're dumb. And the low-speed ones, too. The OJ-style chases, too. Why do I say it's wild, wild west out there? Oh, my goodness. Santa Monica City College is now reporting that ICE has arrested one of their students. They arrested them at their home in West LA, and that student has been deported. The school says they're physically safe and they're looking for legal help. So far, the ICE agents haven't come onto the campuses themselves, but it is an escalation to be hunting down students at their homes. Also, a couple from South LA is facing federal charges because, according to the feds, they tried to block immigration agents during an ICE operation on February 28th. Apparently, there were people protesting while the ICE agents were serving search warrants across LA on this particular day. And the Department of Justice says that these two people, Gustavo Torres and Kiara Jaime Flores, used their car to chase ICE agents down and then block them during the operation. The people that are supporting this couple say that this is just an intimidation tactic by ICE and that they were merely protesting. This is, part of an ongoing escalation. I remember when the Trump administration first came in, I was asking on the air, it seems like they're not deporting more people than Biden. Biden deported a whole bunch of people, but they're just being louder about it. It's like a shock and awe kind of vibe where they're trying to make it seem like they're doing more to satisfy their base. But as this thing has unfolded, it's clearly an escalation when you're going into people's dorms and apartments, following people into churches, using false pretexts to go onto elementary school campuses for wellness checks that aren't really wellness checks, they're deportation checks. So what we're looking at and what we're seeing now is definitely an escalation. And I think it's because they want to get the numbers to back up the lie that they told that there were so many millions. Now, we have always known we've known for a long time there were like 11 million, approximately around 11 million undocumented folks in this country. But the narratives that were being spewed during the campaign, where they were talking about tens of millions, hundreds of millions, or millions, depending on the day, is just simply not supported by the facts. So that's why they're beating the bushes, deporting people who have green cards, deporting people who are here on student or other visas, refugees who are in legally, meaning they turn themselves in at the border, which is what you're supposed to do. You come here, you turn yourself in, and you say, I'm applying for refugee status. And when you do that, you're usually released from custody, either to the custody of friends, i.e. you're going to stay with friends or family that are already in this country, or you could go into a detention facility, and there you wait. Mostly you're waiting with relatives or friends for your hearing date to come up, for you to get your day in immigration court, which takes a long time because our immigration courts are very backed up. And you go there and you find out whether you're going to be granted status as a refugee or sent back to your country of origin. That makes you undocumented but not illegal. There's a difference. So in order to reach anywhere near the numbers that they reported that were coming across the border, they've had to get real creative and arrest some people who are here legally. And now we're finding out about more and more citizens being detained, or people coming here from other countries on tourist visas or different types of visas that they're questioning. So clearly this is a desperation move to get the folks, to get those numbers. And the so-called mistake of sending out threatening letters to immigration attorneys. All of this feels like intimidation, even the rest of my own brother, who's a black man and not an immigrant, okay? Not to say that immigrants should be deprived of their rights and arrested without due process, but the fact that we've got a sitting mayor who can trace his family all the way back, to the plantation. I mean, we know the names of our last enslaved relatives. In fact, our great-great-great-great-great-grandpa, Enoch Archie, reportedly was freed from the plantation as an older adult and went on to be a county commissioner. For me, that's just a symbol of the Jones Baraka family's tendency to overachieve. 2 months ago, I was enslaved. Now I'm a county commissioner. Anyway, my point is not that. My point is you're arresting someone who's built the generational wealth and superpowerdom of this country through their unpaid labor, through the unpaid labor of 12 generations of our family. And now you're going to arrest him on a private property in a city of which he is the mayor, and you're going to have immigration arrest him. That's what I was saying, Miles, that I need an attorney to help me unpack. And I know Attorney Nana Jomfi did some of that, but I don't even get how that's legal. If your portfolio is immigration and customs enforcement, how are you arresting American citizens who also happen to be elected officials doing their job? To be clear, he was not protesting. He was doing his job. And that particular prison does not have the permits that you need to operate in the state of New Jersey, in the city of Newark. And compliance is one of the mayor's jobs. So he wasn't there protesting. He was doing his job as a representative of the American people. And now Raz J. Baraka will go to court on some BS. And I'm just hoping that they don't decide to keep him there throughout the rest of this campaign. He's running for governor. He's doing quite well. He's in the front of the pack. And that election is next month, in less than a month, June 10th. Raz for governor, RAS, in case you want to help out. Yeah, it's the wild, wild west. You're right, Paul. They indicted that judge, the Wisconsin judge, who they arrested for supposedly helping a migrant That is intimidation. And it is, in my opinion, extrajudicial. It seems to be outside of any legal norms. And that's why I think we have to keep talking about it. It's not just because it's my brother. He may be the first elected official arrested by the Trump administration. He may be the first black elected to be detained by them. But I really, truly do not think that he will be the last. Not at all. Yeah, that doesn't even sound right. Let's go to Jerry calling us from Beverly Hills. Good morning, Jerry.
Oh, good morning. I'd like to ask you, who got 12 votes for governor in 1990?
You. Did you run for governor?
For governor in 1990. Who was it?
I think it was you, Jerry from Beverly Hills. Is that right?
You're right. But
what do I win?
On the internet, punching Gerald Irwin Sullivan.
Gerald Irwin Sullivan.
Punching Gerald Irwin.
And of course, this is in 1990. This is long before your acting career took off, long before your Parkinson's diagnosis. You got 12 votes for governor. Well, it's a claim to fame. You did that, Jerry. Maybe I'll run and see if I can get me 14 votes. Always appreciate you listening and calling, sir. Jerry called 800-920-1580, and you can do the same. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem clashes with House Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman over immigration during a budget hearing, specifically about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, deported by the Trump administration.
Abrego Garcia is in his home country.
What steps have you taken?
If your continued advocacy for him were to...
I'm not advocating for him. I'm advocating for a court order, Madam Secretary.
The Supreme Court ordered his return, but the DOJ is contesting the ruling. A 19-year-old ex-Michigan Army National Guard member was arrested for planning an ISIS-inspired attack on a Michigan military base. He's charged with supporting terrorism and distributing destructive device info, facing up to 20 years per count. And Warner Brothers Discovery is renaming its streaming service back to HBO Max. CEO David Zaslav said they're returning to the brand known for its high-quality media. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, health care, education, and more for a child in poverty.